Good morning, y'all. I'm back to do another TBR. This time we're going to do a TBR, but I think this time I'm going to do it different. Right now I'm having to use Libby and do ebooks and audiobooks for the most part. So usually I have to wait until something is available, not checked out. So I think this month what I'm going to do is, like, for the horror genre, I picked out 2 different books that I would read if I get in the mood to read a horror. So I'm gonna do like at least 2 books from each genre. That way, if one of them's checked out, then I can go see if the other one's available. The first thing I want to talk about, though, the first book that I know for sure that I'm gonna read is this one. I won a giveaway on Goodreads. It's called The Endangered. I don't know if it's called The Endangered or The Endangered. I don't know. But anyway, it's the first book in a new series. It's by Philip Cousteau and Austin Aslan. I hope I said that right. But anyway, you can see, if I can learn how to use my camera, you can see their names. And it's an arc, and they sent out 20 of them. I got number 9 out of 20. But it's the first book in a series. I think it's middle grade, and the synopsis says, temperatures are climbing, tides are rising, and food is disappearing. Someone needs to step in to rescue these species from extinction. Someone needs to turn this mess around, and that someone is the endangereds. You got a polar bear, a pangolin, a narwhal, a orangutan. I only see 3 of them, but anyway, it sounds really interesting, and if I like it, I'll probably keep it to give to Rosie later when she gets older. So right now I'm reading Fangirl on audiobook. So I think when I get done with that one, I'll probably start this one. This one comes out September 29th of this year. So I'll let you know what I think about it in my August wrap up. Okay, so if I get in the mood for a thriller, I'm either going to pick The Family Upstairs by Lisa Jewell or The Whisper Man by Alex North. Okay, The Family Upstairs is a thriller, and it sounds like, I just read the synopsis, and it sounds like this family, something tragic happened, and all the kids that were still alive kind of got separated out into the world, and now they've all been called back to inherit the house and everything. So it sounds interesting. The Whisper Man by Alex North. The synopsis says, 20 years ago there was a serial killer that would whisper outside the victim's window, so a bunch of people disappeared, and then they caught the serial killer. But now it's 20 years later, and this Tom Kennedy and his son Jake moved to town, and then these disappearances start happening again. So it sounds like creepy but really interesting, so I'm really looking forward to reading that one. If I get in the mood for a horror, I'm going to read The Institute by Stephen King. Can't go wrong with Stephen King. Well, I guess that's my opinion. Not everybody likes him, but I love Stephen King books. So this boy Luke wakes up, and he gets kidnapped and then wakes up in this like institution type setting, and then he starts figuring out that there's other kids there. He's a kid. He figures out that there's other kids there, and they all have some type of different superpower. So I think it's going to be really interesting, because you got kids with superpowers, which is always good, and you got Stephen King, so it's going to be either really weird or really scary, or both. So that ought to be a good one. If I get in the mood for fantasy or sci-fi, I'm kind of bunching those together. Then I'm either going to read The House on the Cerulean Sea by T.J. Klune, and it's about this guy, well, it's about this house, I guess, and there's a bunch of foster kids living there, and they all have special powers of some sort, and this guy has to go there to investigate. I'm not real sure, but I think I have this thing about kids with superpowers, or just kids that are different. Or I'm going to start the Unwind series by Neil Shusterman, because I read the Scythe series last month and it's now my favorite series. Yeah. Sorry, Sookie Stackhouse. But you're number 2 now. But anyway. I want to read it. It sounds interesting. It's where you live in a society where up until a certain age your parents can send you to be rewound or unwound or whatever, and basically you're gone. You're not there anymore. So it just sounds really interesting. Plus, it being by him, I want to see if I like it as much as I do the Scythe series, which I don't know if I'll ever like anything as much as I do that one. But if I get in the mood for middle grade or youth, other than the Endangereds, I really want to start the Greystone Secrets series. The first one is called The Strangers, the second one is called The Deceivers, by Margaret Peterson Haddix. The Strangers, from the way the synopsis reads, it sounds like it's these 3 kids and their mom, and it sounds like somehow that they get thrown into an alternate universe where they're missing. So I don't know, that's all I can get from the synopsis, but it just sounds interesting, the whole alternate universe and stuff. Okay, if I get in the mood for a rom-com or anything like that, well, right now I'm listening to Fangirl. It got to my turn on Libby. I had it on hold, and now it's my turn, so I went ahead and started listening to it, but it'll be a few days before I finish it. I'm sure everybody knows what Fangirl by Rainbow Rowell is by now. It's connected to the Simon Snow series, which I've read the first 2 and really, really loved it, so I had to go back and read Fangirl. And if I get in the mood for a rom-com again, then I want to start the Romance Book Club series by Lyssa Kay Adams. It's supposed to be this really funny romance. I think they have marital problems, so he joins a book club and they're reading romance novels, so he's trying to learn how to be more romantic, I guess. But it's supposed to be really funny, so I think I'll like it. If I get in the mood for supernatural / paranormal, then there's this series that's kind of like the Sookie Stackhouse series by Charlaine Harris, which is my second favorite series, my favorite supernatural series. Anyway, the first one is Moon Called. It's by Patricia Biggs. It's the Mercy Thompson series, and I read somewhere that it's a lot like the Sookie Stackhouse series, so I want to check out at least the first one and see if I like it. It says she's a mechanic, but she's also a shapeshifter. So it says her next door neighbors are werewolves, so we know there's shapeshifters, werewolves. Her former boss is a gremlin, so there's all different kinds of supernatural creatures. Okay, and another one I could read if that one's not available is The Southern Book Club's Guide to Slaying Vampires by Grady Hendrix. I've heard a lot of good things about that one. I've heard it's got like mystery and vampires and like a chick lit kind of vibe, where it's the book club goes after the vampire kind of vibe, so I think it would be really good, possibly even funny. As far as audiobooks, I'm going to continue to read the Stephanie Plum series by Janet Ivanovich. They're really funny. I'm on 5 right now. Yeah, I'm on high 5 right now. I like to switch back and forth between series so I don't get too bored with them. They get too repetitive. But it's really funny. It's She's a bounty hunter, but she's not really good at it. She's the type of bounty hunter, she carries a gun, but the bullets, she doesn't like keeping it loaded, so the bullets are just rolling around in the bottom of her bags. So she's that type of bounty hunter. But I like it because it's not only funny, but there's always like a different mystery in each book that she gets tangled up in and has to figure out. And then on top of that, she's trying to go after these FTAs that didn't show up for court. And it's so good. I've read most of them before, but now I'm going back and reading them in order. Which you don't have to do. You can read them out of order if you want to. Now, a book that I'm really, really looking forward to reading this month, the one I want to read the most this month, is The City We Became by N.K. Jemisin. I've heard so much about that book, and at first I didn't think I would really care about it. It's not really something I would read, but I'm trying to get out of that habit because I didn't think I would like Scythe. I didn't think it was something that I would be into, and every time I do that and I give in and read a book, it becomes one of my favorites. Because I've figured out my favorite genre is weird. So yeah, I'm trying to get out of that habit now. Certain things I know that I don't like I've tried and I don't like, is like some types of romance. I don't really care much for historical fiction. I don't do well with non-fiction. I don't like it. I've tried it several times, but anyway, you see the point. There's some things I know for a fact that I don't like, but I'm trying to get out of the habit of going, that doesn't sound like something I would like, because I'm usually wrong. So I have to at least give it a try. And I think that pretty much covers everything that I'm planning on reading. Most of them will be ebook or audiobooks, so I will let you know what I think about what I actually end up reading and what I think about them in my August wrap up. So I'll see you then.